Welcome everyone. Let's dive into a really intriguing chapter from the cricketing world. Imagine this: a Champions Trophy final played entirely in Dubai, even though the tournament was hosted by Pakistan.
That's wild. Playing all your matches away from the actual host is something else,
Absolutely. And the controversy doesn't stop there. You see, India secured the Champions Trophy with a 4-wicket win over New Zealand by playing in Dubai. Now, that move was driven by the government's refusal to allow their team into Pakistan because of tense relations.
Right, so it was more of a political maneuver than a sporting one, yeah?
Exactly. At least that's how some believed it. And then there's West Indies legend Sir Andy Roberts, who basically said,
Yeah.
India can't get everything. He slammed the perceived advantage of not having to travel during the tournament.
I get his point. Cricketers, traditionally have to deal with travel challenges, adjusting to conditions and all that.
Right, it's like saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And Roberts didn't pull any punches. He mentioned it wasn't fair, saying it's just not cricket to skip the travel part.
But don't you think India's move was more about safety and political constraints? I mean, if the government wouldn't allow them in Pakistan, then shifting venues might be the only option.
True, but Roberts went further. He implied that with the revenues and influence India brings, it seems like the sport is turning into a one-nation show. He even joked that the ICC, he said it stands for the Indian Cricket Board. And, that's a pretty bold claim, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a strong statement. It's a controversial angle, for sure. It sort of challenges the integrity of the tournament. Imagine if key decisions are skewed by one nation's clout.
Exactly, and it made him question the level playing field. He said, something's got to give, because how can a team win without the rigors of travel? Plus, he hinted that if India decided on any rule, like banning no balls or wides, the ICC might just fall in line.
That's quite the criticism. It almost comes off as a disrespectful nudge, doesn't it? I mean, while I get the point about fairness, it feels a bit extreme to claim the whole system is controlled by one board.
True, it does push the envelope. He's known for his no-holds-barred commentary. What adds another twist is the reaction from Pakistan's side. The Pakistan Cricket Board, for instance, got flack for not sending a representative to the final. Their chairman, Mohsin Naqvi, was down with illness, and even legends like Shoaib Akhtar expressed their frustration publicly.
Yeah, that must have added to the drama. It's like a double-edged sword. While one legend points a finger at India's advantages, another criticizes PCB for missing out on its own moment on the world stage.
Exactly, it's a classic case of blame game on both ends. Roberts, being a seasoned voice, essentially argued that cricket should remain fair and open, not dominated by any single nation's policies or financial muscle.
Right, fairness is the heart of any sport. And you have to wonder if these kinds of decisions, like relocating the tournament, might set a precedent for future events. What's next? Will every tournament be shifted to neutral or convenient grounds just to sidestep political obstacles?
That's a good point. It's like a slippery slope. Today it's Dubai for safety reasons. Tomorrow it might be something else entirely. Turning international cricket into a safe playground for, say, one dominant force.
Exactly. And think about this. When travel itself becomes a variable of competition, the whole idea of a level playing field gets compromised.
Yes, it really shifts the dynamics. One could say that it's not just cricket anymore. It becomes an extension of politics and economics. And Roberts wasn't subtle. He pointed out that money and influence from India could, in his view, dictate rules.
Yep, I get that, but I wonder if it's a bit of an oversimplification. Isn't it possible that the decision was just a pragmatic one in a high-tension political climate?
Sure, that's a fair counterpoint. I mean, pragmatism often clashes with ideal sportsmanship. Sometimes you just have to make a hard call. But still, critics like Roberts urge us not to forget the principles of the game: fair play, equal challenges, and no undue advantages.
True. And then there's the whole narrative of one nation's dominance. It's as if the sport is inching towards becoming a one-country spectacle. Isn't that a bit concerning?
Exactly my thought. When critics say India can't get everything, they are tapping into a deeper issue. the erosion of global balance in cricket. The tournament, which should celebrate diversity, risks turning into a stage set by one influential player.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose that raises larger questions about how we organize international sports. Can you really maintain fairness if financial clout and political influence start to steer the game's logistics?
That's the big debate. And while some might argue that every nation faces unique challenges, critics believe that fairness should never be compromised for convenience or politics.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's definitely a tough balance. I mean, you want to protect your players and ensure their safety, but there's also a duty to maintain integrity and equal opportunity for all participants.
Exactly. It's a high wire act between safeguarding players and preserving the spirit of the game. This discord kind of mirrors other sports where logistics and politics sometimes overshadow the competition itself.
Absolutely. And you know, when you hear passionate voices like Robert's, you can't help but feel that the traditions of cricket are at stake. It's both nostalgic and a bit worrisome.
Definitely, it's a reminder that while change is inevitable, we have to tread carefully to ensure that the game we love remains true to its core values.
Right on. Well, this debate is clearly far from over, and it'll be fascinating to see how these issues evolve in the future.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on the developments because these decisions shape not just tournaments, but the entire global landscape of cricket.
Yeah, thanks for this engaging talk. It's been a fast-paced ride digging into the crossroads of cricket, politics, and tradition.
For sure, it's always exciting to explore these deep layers of the game. Until next time, stay passionate about cricket and keep questioning the status quo.